Mastermind is winning time. It's winning time. It's winning time. It's winning time.
Guys, what's going on? It's Brendan with Andy Elliott. Look, today we are running a badass mastermind, okay? So me and my buddy, Danny Klein, decided to throw this thing together and hand select 10 badass people, 10 badass individuals, come on, and bring them all out here for a 2-day, all immersive mastermind, where day one, we're in here right now, smashing a workout at the Lion's Den. We had a cold plunge and a sauna this morning.
Told my bitch to find us a bitch, we gon' fuck on together tomorrow. Fucking my wrist up, fucking her brick up, yeah. Go on and hop on the charter. I go to sprint, I go to take off a cash, yeah. I'm not a dogger. I went to Neptunes, I went to Mars, yeah. Streets.
We got freaking a badass group, about a dozen killers. We rock the sauna, getting in the cold plunge. We got a 2-day mastermind, so we're starting by putting ourselves in vulnerable positions, getting super close. I mean, literally, bro, just in that sauna just a minute ago, every single one of us in this group right here shared a vulnerable story about ourselves. So this is a weekend where we're breaking it down. You know, you have to break things down to grow, right? So we're breaking everybody into a million pieces. We're getting vulnerable, and we're gonna kick some fucking ass, dude. Later on in the day, as the day progresses, we're gonna get into more hardcore shit. We're gonna know how to push buttons on these guys and get them to wake up, train them. And then we're going to send everybody home with new birth certificates. It's that simple. That's how easy.
Let them know. Let them know.
Everybody's getting vulnerable, man. There's no tucking away in the corner. There's no running. This is running straight into who you are. Put yourself in the uncomfortable spots. After this, we're going to go back, hit some training for the rest of the day, have some dinner. And then tomorrow, we're sitting down with Andy for a 2-hour private session with just the 10 of us. And then a bow day for the rest of the day. So let's go check out the gym, see what's going on in there right now. And let's go meet some of the guests that are out here for this event. Let's go.
Dia de la muerte, day of the dead, my Asian. Orale, I hold my enemies ready. I'm taking machetes up out of the shed.
You know, and so we're really trying to build that next generation of leaders. So we have a lot of the kids. They're just coming here, they're learning, they're growing, and honestly, they get back most of their day because they can learn what they need to learn in 3 or 4 hours throughout the day, and the rest of the day, they get to actually implement some of the real life stuff.
I will say I use a lot of trigonometry that I learned in 3rd grade today.
Ad-lib got a double meaning, that's a money counter, that's a body counter. Fat-lib got a double meaning, that's a first rounder and a pussy pounder. Anything can happen here, it looked like a pharmacy in the cabinets here. Skulls in the chandelier.
Dude, I remember calling Brendan, it was my first 6 months here, and we were holding, it was a $5,000 mastermind. This is where we first got into the fucking, like into the car business. And Brendan was so broke, but he was so all in, he put $100 down. He was like, bro, I'll figure it out. He's like, just put $100 down. I'm like, 100? I'm like, it's $5,000, it's next week, bro. He's like, I'll figure it out.
The digits keep stacking and stacking and stacking and shit never ends. This ain't the sequel, it's really the origin. I'ma take you back to where it began.
Like if you are like a confident person, if you're like, hey man, you want a drink? No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Or hey, do you want to go over here? Do you want to go hang out this? I'm good, man. I don't need it. You know what I mean? That's like when you don't operate off of core values. Whenever you say you live two lives, that's just an easy way to start hating yourself. And that's what I did for a long time. Like I'll tell you guys in a minute, like a little bit of my background. But like I lived 2 lives. I knew there was this life over here that I live today, and then I was living a different way to fit in with everybody around me. And like every time I'd like fall prey to this life, I started to hate myself more and more. And one day I said, you know what, I'm done, I'm cutting it off. I'm gonna go all in over here. And then that's when like the results started to freaking pop. When I sold cars, I'd start and then I'd stop. I'd start and then I'd stop. I'd like go on a run, make 30 grand in a month selling cars, and then I'd like stop for some reason. The devil would convince me, hey man, you're like putting yourself out there too much. So about like last month, like Danny said, got the Rolly, right? Got the freaking Daytona watch. And you know, it's weird how like opportunities present themselves, right? So I was at the Den one day, and there's an entrepreneur named Albert Preciado. And he comes to the Den for this GFI event. You know, he was there, right? Dude, Albert comes in and he's like, you know, this guy's been an entrepreneur for the past 10 years. He's got a real estate company, escrow, mortgages, all this stuff. He's in Hollywood. And he comes in and he's like, I'm looking at building a coaching program. He starts talking to me and he's like, who's the #1 producer in the Elliott Group? And I was like, well, You're looking at him, bro. And he's like, can I pick your brain a little bit? Like, can we talk? And we get to talking, and I'm telling him how to build a coaching program. I'm telling him some things we do. And I'm like, Albert, let me fly out and I'll talk to your team. If you want me to just pour into your team. He's like, dude, I would love that, right? So I go out there, and I'm talking to these guys I'm 5 to 10 minutes in, and I pull an Andy. I'm like, you motherfuckers are asleep. What the fuck is going on? I was like, everybody stand up. Fucking, we're going to do a creed. We're going to fucking do all this stuff. And then this guy says, man, I'm shy. Like, you know, I'm shy. Like, what do I do? And I was like, dude, your message is gonna live inside of you forever if you stay shy. You could be the greatest human being ever, but if you don't put yourself out there, no one will ever fucking know how great you are. What I want to cover is this. I sat down and I thought, what is the most valuable thing I could teach all of you guys, right? And I thought these are like the 5 things, the 5 like main areas that I really hone in on. There's 5 things that I fucking really go hard at, right? And I'll go through one by one, and then you guys can ask whatever questions you want. But this is everything, every skill. This is the only 5 skills I've focused on for the past 4 years that have taken care of me. And I believe in this generation, I believe it's like the most important shit. So number 1, be mindset, right? And we just gave like a mindset masterclass, right? So hopefully that gave you a little bit of tips on mindset. You gotta, the first mindset tip I give anybody is you gotta find a fucking enemy. And your enemy, you don't have to go get out of here and go murder them. You just burn their fucking eyes out, bro. That's all you do, right? I will never forget it. I told Jaden, I said, dude, I remember everything. That's my secret weapon is I don't forget anything. I don't forget anything. I remember every person who did me right, I remember every person who did me wrong, and I remember everybody in the fucking middle. And I remember that shit. So like whenever somebody burns me, I'm like, I love you, bro, but I'm gonna remember that shit. So next pillar, and this one is sales. So I'll get into a little bit of sales talk. The sauce you came for. The reason all of you are here is because me and Danny's sales techniques. I'm just kidding. Most of you motherfuckers sold us on coming out here. But so sales. I'm not. I honestly, a guy approached me the other day and he said, dude, how do you become Andy's top sales guy? He said, how much are you selling? I said, dude, I haven't sold shit in 2 years. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, I'm a relationship seller, bro. I don't even feel like I'm selling things. You know, like, and my favorite compliment is when someone's like, dude, you are relational. You are like, you're good about that. You know what I mean? So I'll give you guys some like sales game, some things that like I do that help me. But the next, you know, kind of pillar I'm going to talk about, I'll give you way more game. I promise you when I go to the next thing, the game I'll give you will be like worth the whole trip out here.
That's a great loop too.
What's that?
That's a great loop.
A great little loop, huh? Come on. But here's some sales tactics I like to use, okay? Because I'm thinking like you guys are all in different industries. So I'm just going to give you some general stuff that we use at the LA group that like all of our top guys are using that will work no matter what you sell, right? So I like to do this thing called labeling, right? Where like if I'm selling to Ben, I'm like, Ben, dude, it's awesome talking to you, man. Look, you're fucking jacked. You're a beast. You know, Ben, would you say you're like a fucking grinder and super competitive? And then he says yes. So now he owns it. Now he owned the label. And I go, oh, that's awesome, dude. Well, since you're competitive, let me tell you about XYZ solution, XYZ product, XYZ promotion, right? So how could, like if Mike, let's say Mike's selling a pool, right? Which I don't think you do anymore, but I'm just giving you an example, right? Or solar. You know, Mr. Customer, like you seem like you're you know, you're big on saving money in certain areas you don't have to be shelling out extra money so that you can spend more money on things that are important to you, like your family, your kids, things like that. Is that right? Got it, dude. Yeah, man, that's awesome. All right, number 3, relationships. This is my favorite one, bro, by far. I love this. I love teaching people how to build great relationships. And you know what? I'll be honest, man. A lot of you guys might say, who feels like they have good relationships? What if I told you you're not good at it? Because if you were, you'd be a millionaire. What would you say? Besides, fuck you, like, you know, after you got over getting your feelings hurt, you know what I'm saying? So here's what I'll tell you about relationships, right? I cannot stand people who are like givers or takers and not givers. And wealthy people, like the way that wealthy people communicate is through relationships, right? The language of the language that the wealthy speak is like, you give and then I give. You know what I mean? And I learned this lesson like the hard way. I learned this lesson by missing out on probably millions of dollars of Elliott revenue, by talking to Fortune 500 CEOs and going like, come on, big dog, grab the ball sack, just pay the $100,000 to Andy, man, pay the man. And then wondering why when I followed up with that guy, he didn't answer, right? I don't know why, but you know, maybe I did. I think I did something wrong, I guess. Number 4, come on. I'll talk about these last two. So number 4 is gonna be personal brand. I was telling Jaden this earlier, bro. Personal brand is gonna be the great separator, bro, for everybody. It is going to be the great separator. You guys remember how we went and looked at the Lion's Den building? So the Lion's Den, that big ass building that's like a real tangible piece of real estate that's worth tens of millions of dollars. You know how we built that? You know what was able to finance all that? A YouTube channel and an Instagram page. That's where all our business comes from. Isn't that crazy? It all came from those 2 channels, right? So I'll tell you this, right? Like the brand I've been able to build in just like a year and a half, I'm really good at pattern recognition, right? So I can recognize a pattern. So I recognize, hey, I've got a small following, but this small following is paying me a lot of money. I'm like smart enough to realize I need to keep going. You see what I mean? And then I'll tell you the last one. I'll get through this one quick. And I feel like I'll be able to address something that's gonna help a lot of you guys out, okay? The last one's gonna be investing, okay? So I'm not gonna give you guys like a master class on investing because honestly, I'm not a big believer in, I think investing is overhyped. I'll say it that way, okay? I feel like, you know, people are like, you know, if you look at like me, for example, so I was like I was on this real estate fucking hype train for a while, like about 6 months, a year ago, right? I started making more money than I was able to spend, and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna buy? And I go, fucking real estate. I'm gonna become a real estate investor because that sounds cool, right? So I bought a house here in Fountain Hills, bought a primary, and then I bought a rental property. And I was like, dude, this is badass. I got a fucking rental. Now I walk around, people are like, you know, I'm like, I got a rental property, bro. Well, I'll tell you what, beyond vanity, beyond the title, it pays me a couple $100 a year. You know what I mean? It has no tax benefits. It's just a fucking piece of real estate. It might pay me $100,000 in the future, right? When I refinance it or sell it. It'll cash flow me 10 to 20, 30 years from now, when I pay it off completely, it might cash flow me $1,000, a couple $1,000 a month. If I could get to 10 grand passive income, 50 grand, 100 grand, that'd be super cool, right? But I'm not interested in getting rich in fucking 10 years. I want to get rich now. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm going to need? Active fucking income. Active income is the way, bro.
But I want you guys to understand, so everybody in here, right, like whatever position you're in, whether you're a sales guy, whether you are your own entrepreneur, whether you're working for somebody, whether you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't fucking matter at all. And just so you guys know, obviously, I don't fucking own the Elliott group. It's not the Klein group. I also work for somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If anything, that's where you need to start, and that's where you need to build your name, or that's where you need to go and find somebody who's fucking killing it and stay loyal to that person, and you'll see some of the most successful people. I was watching on Facebook, I saw this thing who was the former Starbucks like CEO, took another job, and he's making like fucking $40, $50 million a year as a CEO for one of these companies. You can make a fuck ton of money. People don't realize, like they think it's a smaller salary. If you really understand what you're doing and you can run someone's company, you'll make a shit ton of money. But I don't own the company. I was one of the youngest. I'm not the fucking richest. I'm the least qualified. And what I want all you guys here to understand today is that every single one of you are fucking qualified. You guys believe? Other than that, it's all just a mindset. It's me stacking up all of these wins.
And so no matter where you're at, it all starts with that fucking vision. If you don't have a vision on where you want to go and what you want to be, you're fucked. I was doing a fuck ton of drugs. I remember, and I was in college, I was popping Xanax for a public speaking class because I was such a pussy. I literally remember that I had to do a presentation. I was so fucking scared. I wanted to grow, and I signed up for this class, and I still found a way to fucking get out of it because I could never convince myself to actually run towards pressure. And so this is like the analogy for your entire life, is just calling out your fucking shots. No one can say anything about me because I own every single one of my stories. I own everything that I've been through. I own everything. There's always gonna be someone that's making more money than you. There's always gonna be someone that's fucking better looking, has better fucking abs, has better shit, more money. In this game, when you learn to own this shit, and if someone's gonna have a more expensive watch, comparison is a thief of joy. I want you guys to write that down. Become who the fuck you wanna become. I see people, they look around and they wonder why they're not happy. Because they're looking and they're trying to be somebody else consistently. There's a difference between mentorship and growth and striving to be better and looking at saying, I wanna be like that, and then trying to be that person, not finding your own identity, finding your own story, taking the things that you've learned, the books that you've read, and then combining it in. I'm gonna give you guys a hack. All information is all stolen. It's learned and stolen. People are like, oh, I created this, right? Or Brendan created it, but he heard something that triggered that in his brain, and he kind of did a little spin-off.
I stole it.
He stole it.
From Danny.
Who am I? I'm an immigrant brother and an immigrant son. I was lucky enough, I was born in LA, but things changed a little bit for me when my parents decided to move back to Costa Rica. I was lucky enough to have been born in LA, Los Angeles, don't have to deal with the whole paperwork situation, but I was even luckier enough to have grown up in a struggling third world country like Costa Rica. Danny talks about the situation that he had with his father passing away, promises that he made with his family. Brandon talks about growing up, parents, drug addicts, him dealing with those sort of struggles. Same situation with me. I was against the wall, man. I was 15 years old. My mother decided to come back to the US, and I said, you know what, forget that. I'm not going. Like, I can't do this. I'm already home. This is it. I've always wanted to live with my dad. You go. I don't care. Years passed, and then I find myself here in the US, 16 years old, having to learn English from scratch. Know nothing, culture completely unknown to me. However, when I was a kid, I did want to learn English. I tell you guys a little bit of this story because the reality is, and I was telling Derek and Danny, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't even be talking to you guys. I'm probably the least qualified. But because I stayed true to the path that I decided to pursue, that's the reason why I'm here now talking to you guys.
I didn't know who was gonna be here. I really didn't. And I was out there and I'm like, what kind of fucking cats we got in this room? And he was like, they're all sales hungry, right? So what industry?
Fitness coaching.
Fitness coaching.
Residual income, credit card processing.
Merchant accounts?
Yeah.
Cool. Commercial contractor? Love it.
Russell Brunson, marketing, sales.
You work for Russell Brunson? Oh, right on.
Logistics.
Logistics. Trucking?
Brokerage.
Brokerage?
Car sales.
Car sales.
Remote high ticket sales.
Remote high ticket sales.
Door-to-door sales.
Door-to-door sales. What industry?
Solar.
Solar. How long have you all been following the Elliott Group?
Few months.
Few months?
Years.
Years?
2 years.
2 years? 2 years. You guys have, all right, way longer than I have. I just found these guys 6 months ago max, maybe 6 months ago, dude, and I'm 43 years old. 43 years old, married, 2 kids. I'll give you, how much time do I have? All right, cool. I've only been living here for 30 days in Scottsdale, Arizona. My family, my wife and kids just moved here 3 weeks ago, and it was literally all because, no bullshit, of Andy Elliott and his team. Like, these guys sit up here and say nice things about me, man. It's awesome. I love hearing that, but like, I wouldn't be standing here today if it was not for the Elliott Group, hands down.
So I don't have the kind of mentality to allow you to fail me. I'm not failing because of somebody else. Okay, I took matters into my own hands. I figured the shit out. I found out studied the laws. You can repair your credit. Anybody here can. It's not hard. And with that, I made a sacrifice and invested into myself, right? So credit is important. You've got to be able to leverage yourself first. All right. So there's 3 avatars for you who do not have a 740 plus credit score. 1, avatar A, you have major derogatories. Major derogatories means late payments, charge-offs, collections, okay? Think in your head, who are you, avatar A, B, or C, okay? Avatar A is major derogatories. Avatar B is just simply high utilization and some inquiries. Inquiries are just anytime you apply for funding, you're going to get hit with a hard inquiry. It's going to affect you anywhere from about 4 to 7 points, depending on the health of your profile. Okay? And utilization. Avatar B is utilization. So if you have a $10,000 limit credit card and you're using over 30% of it and you allow it to report, your scores are going to plummet. Okay? You're avatar B. Avatar C, you're 740 plus. Okay? Now, avatar A, if you have these major derogatories, there is a way to remove those in literally less than 5 days. I want you to look up a law, write this down if you have pen and paper, FCRA 605B. I'll give you a little piece of it. It states that anything that you, the consumer, suspects to be related to identity theft or fraudulent activity must be removed no later than 4 business days. Hence the name 5-day sweep. So all that shit can be removed in literally less than 5 days. That's kind of scary. Yes, power is the verbiage.
You don't have to come just to an event. You don't have to come once a month. You can come as much as you want. Is it your life?
Yep.
You guys can come as much as you want. You can do whatever you want. But here's what I see that hold people back. Number 1, limiting beliefs. Number 2, people think they can do it on their own, which is a fucking mistake. You can't do it on your own. You'll never do anything significant. People are like, Andy, I want to do this thing. It's going to be badass. And I say, okay, cool, come join us. And they say, yeah, no, but I live over here. Bitch, what'd you say? You fucking live in this state so you can't? Dude, you move. If you don't sacrifice more than the other people, then you're not going to make it. And by the way, you don't have to give up things. You tell the world exactly what you want, and then the people who will support you will go with you. That's the way it works. Dude, you guys got to realize, look, so once upon a time, there was a man, okay? And he wanted this dream. And we'll get into dreams here in a minute. And this dream, he had a girl. And this girl lived in a location, had a certain belief, and she had her own dream. And this guy quit on his dream because it upset her. So guess what happened? When you quit on your dreams so that the other person can pursue their dreams, you know what happens? You're a quitter. And because you quit here, resentment over 5, 10 years later, you'll quit there. And you ruin your whole life. Because what's the difference from a quitter? Quitting here, quitting there. Okay? There's quitting. Once it starts, it never finishes. And by the way, there's this thing called resentment. You guys know what it is? Do you really? Resentment is the most dangerous thing that'll take a heart and turn it dark in about 3 seconds. Okay? And the longer it stays in your heart, the more you hate everybody around you. It means if you feel like you want to do something and you're not doing it, you better go do it now, because if not, you're going to resent all the people that got in between you and that dream, and you're going to hate them. So let me give you an example. Here's you. Here's your dream. You guys know what you want? You don't have to, but you need to decide what it is. Once you know what it is, all the people, the things, and the people that are here, you'll eventually end up hating them. Do you guys get that? And that's why the greatest thing that you'll ever learn being around me is that I'm ultra transparent. I tell the truth. All growth starts with the truth and honesty. When you stop growing, you get depressed because you know that you're taking your life for granted. Okay? And so my question is, can you grow in every one of these every day? Yes. Okay? How do you do it? It's very simple. Be intense. Have energy. Be passionate. Like passion is a drug. You know what I'm saying? Dude, when you go home, if you're married, can you go home and be like, damn, babe, I want to have the best fucking marriage in the world? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and you can walk into your sales team and go, I want to have the best fucking revenue day in the world. And you can walk home you can go home with your kids and be like, dude, I want to have the best relationship with you in the world between a son and a father or a daughter and a father. Be more excited with God. Be more excited with your wife. Be more excited with your children, with your team, with yourself, with making money, and with changing people's lives. Be excited in all those things. Dude, every time that I walk up and I'm like, hey man, what's going on? I'm like, okay, this is an impact. This is an impact. This is that bucket there, right? So I'm not gonna be like, hey man, what's up, dude? You doing cool? Everything good? Okay, dude, cool, man. If you need something, let me know. It's like, no, dude. And then you're over here and you're like, oh, it's fucking gym time. It's gym time. But my impact is low energy. My gym is high energy, right? Or you're at the office and you're like, yeah, you ain't fuck 'em up today? Are you ready, bro? Are you ready? Are you ready? And then you go home to your girl and you're like, hey, babe, what's going on? Everything good? Okay, you feeling all right? Cool, good day? Oh, yeah, I'm tired, man. Okay, energy up, energy down. Listen, do you want to be unhuman? Can you run it in all areas? Yes, that's what I mean by that. So don't walk in and just think, well, I got to be excited. Dude, being excited, that's like, this isn't a circus. It's like give everything that's important to you, get everything you have. Okay? Empty your heart. And by the way, excitement should come from your heart. Okay? This is called heart power. Okay? This is called heart power. And if you have a dream, your fucking heart should be behind it. Okay? And so this isn't fake. This is from your heart. It's something screaming inside of you. All right, so change yourself. That just means this. Who do you want to be? Okay, so Patrick Bet-David, I told you guys this. There's this thing that he does. It's called Future Truth. And this is where I first learned it, and this is how the Elliott Group was born. He said, who you want to be? And I'm going to be honest with you. I looked at myself at that point in time in the mirror, and I said, I don't like me. And he goes, okay, future truth. We're going to tell a lie, okay? And basically, this lie is who do you want to become? And so I took a vision board, and I do this in my company every year. I took a vision board, and I pointed out everything I wanted, from a body to a bank account, to my life, to my relationship with God, to my wife, to the way that I treat people, to the way that I viewed the world, to the way that the world viewed me. Like, you know, like you guys, like you can decide the way the world views you. You may say, well, you can't determine that. Motherfucker, yes, I can. I can. And by the way, I know who I'm after. I'm not after fucking losers that don't care, that are in their mom's basement, want to be a fucking hater with a shitty ass attitude. I'm after the broken motherfuckers that want to come up in life, that want to win, that want to create something cool in life and build a legacy. That's what I'm after, okay? And so, like, I need you to understand that the future truth is to decide not who you are now, but who do you want to be. You got to create a vision board. And by the way, you have to be able to see it in your head. If you can't see it in your head, you can't have it in your hand. Listen, if you can't see what you look like if you can't envision it, you'll never look like that. If you can't see what your life will look like and really like almost live it without it even happening, then you're never gonna get it. I knew what my life was gonna look like. I knew what it was gonna feel like when I walked into the mall with my son and 300 people walk up and go, dude, you changed my life, man. You changed my life. Is this your father? Oh my God. Listen, dude, you have no idea how lucky you are to be his son, man. Dude, I wish I had a dad like that. From 18 to 70 years old, everywhere we go. I knew one day when I was posting that fucking YouTube video and everybody was, well, number one, there was no everybody. No one was watching. And I just kept making it and making it and making it. And then telling everybody what we were gonna do and fucking sharing our heart and pouring it out and giving the energy and trying to change myself. The problem is the reason why you have to start changing yourself now is because at the rate of the way that you're changing now, you'll die before you become successful. At the rate of change now in your current life, you'll die before you become successful.
Throw that money in the air, watch it fall to the floor. Hurry, order, us, rent, need a order, us. I should, oh, yeah, I should break it off, yeah. Break it off, yeah. Made myself a boss, yeah. Let's fuck out some commas. Let's fuck out some commas, yeah. Let's fuck out some commas. Let's fuck out some commas, yeah. 40,000 to 100,000. 100,000 on 100,000.
My job is to be an example for other people. If I'm suffering, it may look ugly, but I'm not gonna whine, complain, and show fucking weakness. And guess what? I was collapsing on the floor last night, over and over and over again. You know what I did? Got back up. I didn't go, oh, sorry, man, sorry. No, you fucking get up and go back to doing it again. It's between you and you. Am I right? Can I ask you a question? Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it so that everyone else can see that you're a fucking winner? No, it's so that you can look in the mirror and say, I am a badass motherfucker. That is it. And then all the other people that get to see that you are a badass motherfucker are inspired to become badass motherfuckers themselves because you are kicking ass. Now they want to kick ass like you are. Don't show weakness, okay? Remember, who's the greatest teacher in the world? Pain. More pain you got, better off your life's gonna be. You feel me? And by the way, the only way to get through anything that's hard and obstacles is with mental toughness, and mental toughness, pain is either your best friend or pain is your enemy. Listen, if you guys are like, I don't want any pain in my life, you're fucking in trouble. You're in trouble because you're always gonna have it. So you need to say, pain is my best friend and pain teaches. By the way, when you feel pain, doesn't it make you feel alive? Okay, cool. I know it sucks. I get it. I'm not saying it's not gonna suck. It's the suck factor. But the deal is that it changes you. And so change your relationship with pain. Change your relationship with it. When your shit's on fire and lactic acid's going through your body and you got a fucking headache and you're dead tired and you feel like you're gonna mentally collapse, good. I'm actually, for the first time in my life, fighting for something that I want. At least if I die now, I die fighting for something I want, and I don't die being a fucking loser. It's all your choice. It's all perspective, right, guys?
What's going on, guys? My name is Mike Quiroga. I am in remote high-ticket sales for the Elliott Group as of 2 weeks ago. And I've been training with the Elliott Group for just about 3.5 years now, coming up on 4 shortly. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned in the short time that I've been with the Elliott Group has been to just persevere and to believe in yourself and truly believe in yourself. But one of my biggest takeaways from this weekend with Danny and Brendan and Eric Klein and Andy, all of them, biggest takeaway was something that Danny said actually on the first day. I think one thing that he said that really stuck to me was that comparison is a thief of all joy. And we've heard it 100 times over, but for whatever reason, in this setting, in this manner, it resonated with me very well.
So day one, I learned what pain was. That was a cold plunge. I always wanted to do one. It's definitely next level shit. We did the sauna. I thought I was gonna die in there, but you know, it's next level. Pain, live on pain. Today, I had so many questions for Andy that I thought I was gonna have to ask him. I'm lost. Like, I don't even have the words to express the feelings that I have or, you know, anything. He answered all the questions I was struggling with. Like, I feel like a new person. So, yep.
Dude, day 2, this is fucking awesome. Like, you can't get anything better than this undeniable mastermind. I've been to a lot of Andy's events, and it's cool being in a really big room with a bunch of people, but being able to get close to people, only 15 of us, right, or more or less, having that one-on-one contact with Danny, with Brendan, with Andy Elliott himself, like, it's next level. I mean, and then bringing in Eric Klein, having us work out together, having us basically live together, eat together, do everything. It's really just building this great community. And so opportunity of having that brotherhood it's awesome.
All right, what's going on, guys? Mike Van Brill here. I just wanted to touch base on something that's been on my mind recently. One of the things that I've been experiencing is taking risk in life, making a jump and going after something, right? You have this safe zone, this comfort in your life, in an ordinary world. How are you going to bounce back and change the way you want to just approach life, right? Well, one thing is, you know, change your environment and putting yourself to the limits, losing, failing, and getting in rooms that you feel like dumb, you feel insignificant. that's one of the biggest things that I could recommend is getting into environments where people are just doing real big things, so you could feel like you're the smaller player, and then you can escalate your life. One thing about wrestling that taught me was just because I failed, I wasn't a failure, right? So you just continuing to persevere through life and find that next level, find that next step, so it can take you to the next level, right? We all want to have success. We all want to just continue to build and be known and just like step into the calling, right? And so just listen to your mind. Don't just get bogged down by life and distractions and TV and pornography and drugs and all these things that will just steer you away from, you know, what you could possibly be in this world. That's one of the biggest things that I see. There's so much potential in this world. Someone has a vision or something for their life or a dream, and they don't go and chase it. They don't take risk and they don't jump for something. So that's one thing that I'll recommend is just go for something. And then, you know, on the other side of that fear of failure is the reward that you're looking for. So let's go.
I'm ducking from the D's, ducking from the Jakes, done it with my G's, done it for the